What's up guys? Alright, I did not plan on making a full-length video on this trip, but now I have found myself in Honningsvåg, Norway, and I think it's a pretty sweet little town. It is the northernmost town in Norway, or northernmost city I should say, but we'll talk more about that in a second. And I think this is worth actually a video, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, we did get into port in the afternoon on the first day, and we're going to be here overnight. So I am going for my first run now, and I'll go for another run here in the morning. So let's get going. Let's get out of town. Look, it's a very small town. Honningsvåg is only 1.2 square kilometers, which is about 260 acres. And as of 2016, in that 260 acres, Honningsvåg has 2,484 inhabitants. So that's quite a high density for this very northern city. All right, but let's get running, and I'll tell you more about the city in just a second. I might have to wait a little longer before I start talking on camera, just because there's a lot of hills. The town is right at sea level, and then it's just mountains right next to the town. And I think I'm gonna climb about 700 feet to this lake that I'm running to, but it's very steep. Not really conducive to, well, neither running nor talking on the camera, so I'll check back in. I'm not very high at all, but I am on the trails. I'm outside of town now. If I hold the camera out like this, you can see town behind me. So got a little bit of elevation so far. But I did come across this trail map from the North Cape Hiking Association, and there are a lot more trails marked on here than was showing on my old trails app, which is a good thing, because I thought all this beautiful Arctic tundra, I thought there'd be more trails than what was showing on my map, and luckily there is. So I'm gonna have plenty to do when I come back tomorrow, but I've already got what I had set out to do in mind. So I'm gonna run out to a lake, see that, and then come back, and then tomorrow I'll go a bit further when I have a bit more time, and I'll wake up very early. Come on. Less than 5 minutes into the start of my hike, I actually took the wrong trail, and I was wondering, because I thought it was going to be runnable, but I went off on a splinter trail that kind of took me straight up the side of the mountain, and that's not what I wanted to do today. But then I figured I may as well take the main trail up the side of the mountain, so that's what I'm going to do now. I was going to save this for tomorrow, and I don't think it's adding too much more to my distance today, just because I have already run a bit over 7 kilometers, no, a bit over 7 miles already this morning. So I'm gonna, this might be a bit longer than I anticipated for my first run here this afternoon, but there's these nice steps carved into the side of this mountain. So I'm going to get some elevation quickly, and then hopefully it'll be a bit more runnable coming down, because I won't be running down these steps. I'll be running down a trail coming down this valley over here. But the views are outstanding. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful little town. Okay, while I'm climbing and there's really nothing else for me to do but keep my breath in check, we passed this rock. This rock looked like a horn as we came into, like, around the side of this island that Honningsvåg is located on. And it turns out that Honningsvåg was named for that horn. Hornes means horn in Norwegian, and Vag is bay, Horn Bay. It's funny because you can't actually see the horn from the little city, but I guess everybody came here by water back in the day, so they would have seen that and then named their settlement. Speaking of their settlement, Honningsvåg was first settled 10,300 years ago. So people have been around here for a minute. Whew. All right, come on. Still climbing, and and I've got to make sure that I join the Strava climbing challenge this month. Usually in Florida I never make it, but I'm getting some serious vert this month, and I definitely want to get that Strava credit, you know. Yeah. Did I mention the views? Look at this, it's gorgeous. Still climbing, it's a bit sketchy now. It's getting like, I gotta use my hands to climb up these jagged rocks. Oh, falling would, well, falling isn't really an option at this point. Ah, gosh, this is like the third video I've made of me climbing this hill. I don't even know if that's the top or it's a false summit. We'll find out in just a second. You know what, this is the last video I'm gonna make of this climb. 3's enough. I'll see you at the top, no matter how long it takes me. I actually got to the peak of the mountain I was climbing, but then I saw that it was a ridge and there were several more peaks slightly higher a little further on. So that's where I'm going now. Also, there were people at the top of the first peak, so I didn't want to break out the camera and, you know, kind of ruin their peace and quiet. Now, the sign did say not to go off trail because the Arctic tundra is just super fragile, and I guess like stepping on it, you just destroy it and it won't come back. But right now at the top of these mountains, it's scree. And I guess sometimes I can see a trail, but for the most part, it's just rock hopping. So it's pretty slow going, pretty treacherous, ankle breaking running, or not so much running as much as moving. I'm glad I brought these Hoka Challenger 7s with me because they're keeping me nice and gripped to the rocks when I need it. Alright, see, they've got those poles on the top of the mountain, so I guess it's marking the highest point, and there's cairns that are built on the top. Oh, I have to do a little bit of hand holding here on the rocks just to get down. Yeah, so there's cairns built at the top of each peak, but the sign clearly said not to build them. So I don't know, we're gonna see what it's like from the top in just a second. Stand by, stay with me. Almost there. All right, this is it. The view is spectacular. The only downside is that right in front of me, there is another white pole, and it's just a little bit higher. So that's where I'm gonna go. Then it is somehow I gotta get down there, because that's the lake that I was originally running to. And then you can see this very easy path, very easy running, just coming all the way back down there. And whew, gotta be careful, guys. I can sometimes be a bit clumsy, so now is not the time to be my usual clumsy self. All right, let's get to that other peak. Okay, so I made it to the highest peak that I'm going to get to today. It's actually, I think this is the highest peak around, and again, someone has built cairns right here just to mark the top of the mountain. But you might be wondering, Matt, you're in Honningsvåg. That is 71 degrees north latitude, so we are well inside the Arctic Circle, and I'm wearing sunglasses and I'm wearing a singlet that is just slightly damp from that climb. And I do have to tell you that this is absolutely not normal weather for this time of year. So when I started my run down in the city of Honningsvåg, it was 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 15.5 Celsius. The average high in June when I am here is 48 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 9 degrees Celsius. So clearly I have got very lucky. I've had a lot of friends that have done this cruise that I'm on, where they come up to these northern latitudes, and it's just been rain and sleeting the whole time in the middle of summer. Oh, fun fact, I am here on June 21st, which is the summer solstice. And actually, summer solstice local time is at about 4:45 p.m. and it's about 3:20 right now. So the official summer solstice is in a little over an hour, but we'll call this good enough. We'll say that I peaked on the summer solstice. And looking around, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get down. It looks like there's a little valley right over here that might be a little easier to get down. And then in the distance, I can see the lake that I was actually trying to run to originally. And good news is that from the vantage point up here, I can actually see some trails running over those far mountains. So I think that's where I'm gonna go tomorrow. Okay, I think it's time for me to start heading down off this mountain. Come on. All right, this descent has given me thoughts of Mount Marathon, and I've actually got a little snowpack here. This is a sign of how cold it usually is here. Obviously the snow won't be here much longer if we keep getting temperatures like this, Oh, and fun fact, the all-time high temperature recorded in Honningsvåg was last year. I think it was like June 29th, 2022, and it reached 83 degrees Fahrenheit. So, gosh, I don't know, if that's not a sign of global warming, and also me wearing a singlet in summer in the Arctic Circle, I don't know what is. Oh, this is hairy. So not only is it like treacherous, sharp rocks that I'm really gonna bash my head on it for fall, it's covered in snow as well, so tricky. Oh, easy does it. I was gonna get out the Insta360 camera, but right now I'm filming on the GoPro. If I drop that Insta360 camera, there's no saving it. At least the GoPro will be able to stand up to a bit of punishment. Okay, it's opened up. I've got the snow behind me now. I don't see any more snow in front of me, so should be fairly easy going. Still super techy. Look at me, I'm a trail runner, a trail walker. Oh, I think I'm actually on a trail now. All right, good stuff. I actually stopped moving for a second because I wanted to show you this, and I couldn't have my eyes on the camera and talk about this because I thought this was going to be my way down, but it turns out it's just like a sheer cliff that I'm standing on the edge on. And even now I can feel that I'm leaning away from the cliff, just hedging my bets. Oh, it's pretty sketchy. I'm getting a little queasy. Good times, good fun. Now I have to find a way down. I'm still running away from town. Oh, so running across this Arctic tundra is no joke. Oh my gosh, it makes me think of that Fire and Ice ultra marathon in Iceland and how long that must take. All right, so you just saw that lake. That lake is in front of me. Let me show you again. All right, I'm right down next to the lake. Oh, but it's cold. The good thing is that pretty sure there's no alligators in here. Oh, and I did just think about the polar bears again. Like if a polar bear did come across me, all my footage is in line on this GoPro. So whoever is going to put together a compilation of, you know, some hapless YouTuber goes running and gets killed by a polar bear, it'll be very easy to put together. And you know what? I bet that would be my most popular video. I bet it would. All right, I just dipped below this dam. All right, my GoPro ran out of battery. I don't know what I took on the last take, but I did just run on the other side of the dam from the lake. Now I think it's going to be pretty runnable all the way back into Honningsvåg. Looks like I got a little uphill in front of me. Got to climb out of the basin where this lake is. And then I think it's going to be smooth sailing, downhill running. Yeah, well, before I get to running again, I think I'm going to slow to a walk to get up this. It's pretty steep. Sometimes power hiking is more efficient than running. Ultra runners, can I get a hell yeah? I'm over the top. Now it's a nice, easy downhill run into town. Oh, this was a fun one, guys. This was a fun one. If anyone has plans to come to Honningsvåg for your summer holidays, you've got to do that little route I did. Make sure you take the GPX from my Strava. Oh, that was fun. All right, funny way to end a video in a supermarket, but I called Harmony, who was on the ship, and I asked her to bring me a jacket down, and then we just went exploring in Honningsvåg. But the run was absolutely fantastic. I only knocked out about 4.5 miles, but Strava says I got over 1,300 feet of gain. So solid trail run, pretty happy with it. Can't wait to go out tomorrow and do it again. Be kind, be happy, run well. See you in a couple of days.